Hey guys, what's up? Somebody give me a 5 for 5 and we will jump into this. Definitely not going to be a long one, guys, but I did, like I told you guys before, going to give you guys updates whenever it needs it. And right now we need an update because there's stuff happening. To be honest with you, this is something that's been, long time coming a little bit. We haven't had these kind of eruptions back to back like this in quite some time. We've got some space weather coming our way. So, man, we are 5 for 5. So, thanks, guys. Hey, somebody give me let me know, guys. Give me a 1 in the chat if the sound's a little bit better than what it was yesterday. If not, put a 2 in there if it sounds the same. A 1 if the sound's better, 2 if it's not. Or if it's the same. I'm trying different settings on my... I got a brand new pair of headphones with a mic on it. Got it for Father's Day for my wonderful wife and my kids. And so I'm just trying this out to see if it sounds okay. Okay, cool. All right, awesome stuff. And thanks I am going to go ahead and put the chat away so I don't get distracted. And thanks for all the new subscribers and stuff coming over from Marv and Pastor Paul Bagley's channel. And, everybody everywhere else that's coming in right now. I do appreciate it. And, everybody is welcome here. We don't judge people here whatsoever. And if anybody is new and they don't know the rules to the chat, we don't talk bad about any other channel at all, period. If it's something negative, especially if it's a personal attack, that's just something we don't do. And my mods will typically give you a warning for that, and then unless it's really, really bad. But after that warning, you would have to leave, and I hate to do that. I don't like doing that. I let everybody have their opinion on everything. Okay, guys? And I'm saying this now because I haven't said it in a while. I just want to make sure I haven't had any problems or anything. I just want to make sure that we don't start with any problems. So, if you're talking about a subject, it's different, but if you go into like a personal attack on somebody, that's something we don't put up with here. It's just not productive. Not to mention it's kind of crazy. But, so, hey Trish, hey Pamela. Okay, Todd, what's up? Sharon, Julie. Okay, Jack, what's up? If I miss anybody else in there, I'm sorry, guys. Hey Daniel, what's up? Scott, what's happening? George, what's up? I seen E-Rock in here. Seen E-Rock. I forgot to say hi to E-Rock yesterday, I think. Hey, John, what's up, bud? John in the spirit, by the way. But yeah, guys. Seventh Son, what's up, brother? And anybody else I missed in there, I apologize. I'll try to stop back in and say hi to you guys here in a second. And hey, Survival Game, good to see you. Hey, I like the guys. If you haven't checked out Survival Games channel, please do. I tell you what, we could. Well, we'll do that in a minute. Hey, if one of my mods could go grab her link to her channel, please do that and post it in the link. She's had Marf on there. She's had Rip on her channel and multiple other people too. But she does like a trivia question for prep on the subject of prepping. And it's really cool. It's fun to watch. So if you guys go over there, she does a really good job and check it out. It's pretty cool. It's a fairly new channel, so she doesn't have a whole lot of videos yet, but I look for her to continue for sure. So yeah, so please go check her out, guys. I don't know how many subs she has right now, but I can guarantee you this: she probably deserves a heck of a lot more. Just saying. Hey, Julie. So yeah, if you guys could please just show some love over there. You ain't got to say Wages World Censor or nothing. She just deserves the subs. And we prop each other up around here, guys. That's just what we've always done, and she deserves it. So, also, guys, please, pray for me and my family, and then Rip and his family. They're going through some stuff right now too. Rip's been in my thoughts for a long time. Everybody, please pray for Rip and his family. Rip Curl. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, you probably do. But yeah, just send him some. Love and prayers and good thoughts. And, but yeah. Hey, thanks, Julie. So, anyway, we are going to just jump in this. Okay, I am putting the chat away, guys. So if somebody says something to me, I apologize. I'll check on it in a minute. But we have had some more stuff going on, guys. You know, we're pushing M-class flare X-ray production almost all the time right now. We're in C-class just straight off the bat. Okay, the ambient conditions right now, our X-ray production that we see here that hit our detectors stays at a sea level. Okay, so it doesn't take much of any kind of extra X-ray to really get us up into M-class. And why do we talk about M-class? Well, M-class is really where we start seeing radio blackout conditions. Okay, they're usually typically minor unless you're, you know, high latitudes, like up towards the poles, either direction. Okay, that, you know, an M-class flare radio blackout up there, when we get M-class flares, typically you'll see a R2, maybe even an R3 up towards the poles. Now, because most of us live in what we call mid-latitude, because that's what's good for our biological bodies, that's why we all kind of live in mid-latitudes, in case anybody were kind of wondering that. You know, we may see R1 conditions. So, and it really, guys, it's just minor blackouts, radio blackouts, and disruptions that don't last hardly more than an hour, typically. Okay, and why is that the case? Well, here is the absorption chart for X-ray. I'm going to push play here. And what we're going to look at here is you're going to see this light up. Okay, and when it lights up, that means the flare's hitting. Okay, or at least X-ray. So, and as we watch this, okay, you see that's an M-class flare right there. Now, if you notice, you see the North Pole up here? Do you see how that is taking in more X-ray? You ever wonder why? You don't see it down here. Not as much in the South Pole. The reason why is because stuff gets in easier there. So, that's why. Now, when we get a radiation storm, you'll see it all light up, okay? You'll see this signature, and the North and South Pole will definitely be those colors, typically red and oranges and stuff like that. And a radiation storm will hang around quite a bit. So when we see a radio blackout, like that right there, you go to the center, and that's really where you would be experiencing those conditions. Right in here, maybe stretching out this far. I mean, you guys can see that. But on R1 isn't really much to really talk about, guys. So, yeah. Okay. See you, John. I just actually just popped the chat up there for a second while I was bringing that up. Hey, okay, cool. Say hi to your wife. But, yeah. So, chat back away. Anyway. M-class flare, that's what it's typically going to look at. That's a lower class M flare. It was an M1, if it even was an M1. It was probably just like an M.5 or something. I didn't really look at the exact, but you can see right here that it barely breached that, right? So yeah, not much there. And also geomagnetic activity. Remember, a flare is X-ray. Geomagnetic activity comes from filament releases, eruptions, and CMEs, right? So that's plasma actually hitting our planet, or our magnetic field at least. And that's what geomagnetic activity is. Now, if you're talking radiation storms, you look here in the middle. Okay? You're looking at solar protons. So when those protons, you know, when we get a big radiation storm, typically it comes in about it'll start hitting our planet at about 10 to 15 minutes after the X-rays hit. Then it takes between anywhere, if it's a big CME moving fast, 1 to 5 days for the CME to get here. That's geomagnetic activity. And when we're talking about grid down stuff, this is really what you're looking at, okay? X-ray does, obviously it's going to, you know, cause some issues also. All of it, you know, plays together. But typically, geomagnetic activity is what we talk about when we're talking about if the sun's going to, you know, do something to our electrical grid. That's what we're looking at. And right now you can see we're not even close to storm level, but I do think that's going to change. You know, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you're looking at it, it's all fortunate in my opinion, unless it is grid down. Okay? And I know there's different opinions in that, but we need some geomagnetic activity. We need some to help block cosmic rays. It keeps our magnetic field stronger. And that's why during solar minimum, we're able to, kind of build back up, and not really build back up. The magnetic field just is healthier. So, you just got to really pay attention to that. And we want to be in the middle. And I know that sounds kind of crazy to some people, but we need that balance, guys. That's what we're looking for. You see this right here on this KP again. The 3 is really where you would want to be. You don't want to be down here in the basement, because when that happens, if it lasts more than like 24 hours, it starts allowing cosmic rays in. And cosmic rays, depending on what kind they are, they can be, bad for your health. People that like fly high latitudes multiple times a year, or if that's their job, like stewardess and pilots, and they have a restriction on those people that they can only fly so many hours because of this. It's radiation. And when certain cosmic rays are coming in, it's like getting an X-ray. We don't even like to put our kids in an X-ray machine. They're finding out now, a whole lot of studies now saying, hey, unless they need an X-ray, don't give it to them, because it can really mess with them. Especially like women that are, planning on having babies and stuff in the future. It really can affect them. So that's why it matters, So if they're flying high latitudes, like around the poles, pilots and stewardess and people that just fly a lot, there are restrictions on that, and you got to pay attention to it. They'll actually ground a pilot if he's had too much of that. It definitely is something that people just need to pay attention to. Nothing to worry about. You just gotta know when it's happening. So that's why we pay attention, even when the solar cycle is being little, lackadaisious, I guess, if you want to call it that. But yeah. So here's the first look at the sun. Now, what I'm seeing here, guys, that sticks out in my brain right away. What I'm seeing, you see these? These are pretty decent sized coronal holes. We started seeing them yesterday, and I showed them to you guys yesterday. But that's definitely something we need to pay attention to, because we will connect to those. And why is this black? Because it's a temperature difference is what we're seeing here, guys, and plasma is just flowing out. So when we're talking about the corona of the sun, a coronal hole means that the corona has a hole in it. I know that's oversimplified, but that's exactly what it means. So the corona, which is what we try to block the light part of the sun out so we can get a picture at all, we try to block that out. So when that gets a hole in it, the plasma from the sun spews out. Okay? And it travels here on a magnetic connection line called an interplanetary magnetic field line. I've talked about that ad nauseum, but look over here, guys. You see this? Look at this big arc. We're starting to see these more and more often. That's a really decent sized sunspot. So's this over here. This one over here is active right now. And again, guys, we're going to go over the sun here in just about 2 seconds, but I wanted to show that to you first. Here are the sunspots. I mean, they're definitely there. And the bigger ones are over here, but we've had this one up in here. This area of the sun has been throwing filaments off. And we're going to take a look at that in just a second. But that's where most of these CMEs and stuff have been coming from. And I actually said that yesterday and probably like 3 or 4 days ago. The one before that, when I did my last video before that. I'm showing you guys, well, let's just go look at it now. How about that? It's probably easier to do that. Right here. I was showing you guys the dark channels on the 304 angstrom, which I think is ionized helium. I think that's the gas that it's trying to look at there. That's why they use the different filters, guys. They're trying to pick out a certain gas to look at so we can get certain details that we couldn't see otherwise, right? And that's why they do this. This for no other reason but that. Because I know people get confused. Why are they certain colors? Well, they're not really certain colors. They actually assign the 304 angstrom whatever color they want it to be. And this one here just happens to, they pick this orange-red color, right? So, yeah, that's why. They could have made this baby puke green if they wanted to. They can make it whatever color they want. Because you'll notice when you go to different satellites, we could even look at it right here, and I'll show it to you. Well, let's look at this first. But anyway, you got dark channels up here, eruption down here, and we had this filament up here erupted, and I think that's where the second CME came from. And because we got two of them headed at Earth now, in case you didn't catch that in my thumbnail, we definitely have two of them coming directly at us, a day apart from each other. It seems like, unless one's moving faster than the other. It's kind of hard to tell at this point because they're still kind of early on. But you definitely, we're definitely got two of them coming at us. The NASA model is actually showing both of them hitting us dead on. So we haven't had that happen in quite some time. Not dead on like it is right now. So that's what I would say to that. But let me go ahead and get back up here. And so you can see this eruption here, guys. I mean, that's a big one. This one ain't coming at us. That's a decent sized eruption there. I don't think it's like huge or nothing, but it's decent. But what's interesting is you notice both of these sunspots reacted at the same time. Watch. See that? The one on the northern side here kind of reacted just a fraction of a time before the one on the southern. But we see that often. Now, people ask, well, why is that? Well, the reason why is because you got to understand this is magnetism, right? So if the magnetism starts getting unstable, it makes sense that stuff nearby would also start to destabilize. And, we could go technical on all this and do a deep dive on that. I'm not doing that right now because it takes way too much time. That's a good research project for anybody that wants to try to learn that. But that's why you see that happen quite a bit. Okay? But you can see that. Now, these are not the ones coming at Earth. Now, I can't say that this one's not. All right? It could give us, because remember what I said with filaments, they kind of flick out like a whip. So they kind of go in crazy directions sometimes. But you definitely see that. Now, I know it looks pretty cool, but let me run this back to the beginning. And so, as I look at this, watch up here. You're going to see all this light up here. Okay? Right about. I know it's coming. Just looked at it. Maybe I didn't go back far enough. I bet I didn't. You know what I need to do? Give me a second, guys. Sorry. I need to pull SDO up. I got you over here on ISWA. That's the site I like to use the most because you get more detail. But you can actually go to SDO here. And again, guys, all these links are at the bottom of the NOAA site. And I'll show it to you here in a second. But I'm going to put the link to this in the chat. If anybody wants to check it out, go over there and mess around with it. You can't mess it up. I mean, what's it going to do? Not work? Hey, Axe, what's up? Boomer, what's happening? So there's a link to this SDO site. Okay, chat back away because I'll get distracted. It's good to see you, though, Axe Nacho. I still check you guys out all the time. Anyway, I'm going to take you guys here on the 16th, okay? You just enter a date here, guys. You pick your angstrom. We're going to want to look at the 304. Okay? You can see the resolution. If you change this to 512, it'll make things a little smaller. That's pretty much the only difference you're going to notice. It is a little less defined, but I like using the 1024 here when I'm using my computer. If you're using your phone, do the 512. Okay, you'll be better off. You'll thank me for that. But watch up here. You see that? I showed you guys this yesterday, a little bit of it. Remember I was showing you the big fire canyons and stuff? See that? That is basically a canyon of fire, and that's a filament that was releasing off. But notice, can you guys see this down here dancing around? These filaments, guys, are all over the place right now. They're starting to destabilize, and they're starting to lift off. Now, some of them might not make it out of the atmosphere of the sun. The sun recaptures a lot of these, okay? But the ones I'm talking about now up here, and even, like I said, even this one down here, I'm going to zoom in because I think you guys would see this better. Well, obviously, but watch up here again. Watch this. You see that kind of go up like that? And so when you know what you're looking at, like, why is that a dark shadow? Well, that's a filament. See that? And because the sun's the background, sometimes it's hard to see. That's why these show up really well, because the space itself is a black background. That's why you see that so well. This here was no bigger than what was going on up here. Okay? And over here even. So these are all about the same size, and I would even argue this. I think this one here, that we can't really, doesn't look as impressive, was probably a little bit stronger than the one down here. But, you know, again, we wait for data to come in. We're not going to come out here and jump ahead of stuff and just get crazy. You know what I mean? I used to do that a lot. I'll be the first to admit it, guys. Hey, Hilly. Hey, Becca. Good to see you guys. It's just, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, chat back away. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, you got this filament down here too, and I understand that some of these are kind of hard to see. My suggestion to you is to take that SDO link I put in the chat. Here, I'll do it again. That way you guys got it. Okay. Here it is. It's coming in. Coming in. There it is. There it is. So, yeah. Go over and just mess around with it. You can't mess it up, guys. You really can't. If you don't see what you want to see, try something different. I mean, it's not hard. So we can look at this in a different angstrom. Let me back that off a little bit. The size of those CMEs, are you talking about like physical size, like the distance of how wide they are? Or are you talking about how powerful they are? And again, those questions are actually pretty hard to answer sometimes. Okay? And the reason being is because it's so far away, we can measure it, but it just takes a little bit of math and stuff to do it. I typically don't, just because, you know, if it's coming our way, we typically will know it. And sometimes these tools are just off a little bit. Yeah, you're kind of right, Steve. But we can't figure it out for ourselves. Hey, Mary, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah, we can't. I mean, there's some math that we could do. Size, as in, are they? Oh, okay. Well, see. Here's. This is great. I'm glad you asked this question. Okay, you're asking if the CME is an X class or an M class, right? I explained this quite a bit because people get this mixed up, and you got it just a little mixed up. And so I'm glad you asked this. I'm not saying this to like say, hey, you're wrong or nothing like that. It's just really good chance to teach everybody here. And, you know, I used to think the same thing of what you're saying right there. When those CMEs pop off, those are CMEs. They have nothing at all to do with X or M class flare. That's the difference, guys. These are flares. What we're dealing with coming off the sun right now is a CME. So, yeah, I was laughing at what Hilly said there. Hey, Sandy. So, that's the difference, guys. You know, when a flare pops off, you class it right here. You see? A, B, C, M, and X. That energy, those X-rays are here in 8 minutes. The CMEs that I'm talking about, the actual plasma that hits us, takes between 1 to 5 days to get here. So that's when we're talking geomagnetic storm. If you want to know what kind of like a G1 storm, when's it going to hit? Well, we can look at that in a second too, SP. Okay, but to answer Boomer's question there, that's the difference there. So when we're talking size, if you want to know how something strong is with a CME, you need to look at the geomagnetic activity. So if you're asking if it's going to be like a G1 or a G2 or a G3, I don't know at this point. Okay, yeah. Well, see, Boomer, that's you know that exact incident you're talking about there with the Carrington event. Yeah, it was an X Flare 25. that's when they started to really look at the difference between a flare and a CME. Because up until then, they thought it was one and the same. It's not. They're two different things. You can have a flare without a CME, and you can have a CME without a flare. But that X-Class flare you're talking about with the Carrington event, that most definitely did have a CME with it. Okay? Typically, an X-Class flare, I mean, it's undoubtedly it's going to have a CME with it. It's just it's too big of an eruption, and I have some sort of CME. Even M-Class flares, most of those will pop off with CMEs too. But I've seen M-Class flares not shoot CMEs. So I guess what I'm saying here, there's a distinct difference between, geomagnetic activity, which is actually plasma. The CMEs are plasma leaving the sun. The flare is X-ray leaving the sun. So there's a difference there. And that is the difference. But as far as gauging how strong it would be for the CME if it hit, that is so hard to do, guys. It is so hard to do. John Rogers, you're killing me, man. Oh, man. It's hard to do because we don't, if we're getting hit, and I'm going to go ahead and just explain it this way. I'm going to show you what's going on right now. So I actually will help me with that. Let's go ahead and look at this on seeds. Now, this is on LASCO C2. It's on the SOHO satellite, looking at the sun a million miles closer than what we are, okay? So I start this up, and what you're going to see, and it barely caught it at the end. You watch it flash. Do you see that? Okay? And if you see here, you can see these kind of little faint halo action going on. I'm actually going to show you guys something else, too. This is the main place we've looked for. You go here on seeds and you can click on whatever day you want to see. Sometimes the data's not there though, right? We click on it, there's no imaging. If you go down here, this right here, it gives you timestamps. And if you go down far enough, you can see where it lit it up here in red because the detector detected a CME. This was yesterday, so I'll click on that. This is the one I showed you guys yesterday. Okay, that's that first CME that's coming at us. Okay, so that is definitely substantial. The NASA model is confirming that that's coming right at us. Now, whether or not that materializes, that's a whole nother story. We just got to wait. But we can go here and look at this one. Okay, so now we're on the most up-to-date one we could see. At least what they have charted here, but it ain't as much as what we can see if we go up here to the date. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait till it get there. Right about. Okay, you see this? Okay, if you're ever looking at this, okay, I'm going to explain something here. You see this? How grainy that is? When the tool starts to see bright light, it actually will clear things up a little bit because it starts focusing more on one thing. Okay, so watch the difference in this image. I'm going to go forward one image at a time. You see how much that started to soften? The reason why, if you look around the edges, you see the big bright light now? The detector's picking this stuff up. So it's trying to focus on what's happening. So as we do this, we go forward. Do you guys see this? That's a halo. It's just a really faint one. And even up here. And this is how stealth CMEs get through. Stealth CME is a CME that nobody's seen. And this is why. Because when things get really, really active and they're not really, really big ones, they'll sneak in. You won't see it. So if I keep moving forward here, you seeing what's going on there? So you see like a 3/4 halo right here. If you look at the right stuff. So that's a substantial CME, guys. And it is coming right at us. As a matter of fact, this one right here is bigger in size than what the first one was. And I can show that to you right here. Okay? That's the latest one right there. Okay, this is the NASA model. This is an little spiral, NASA's version of it. That's the sun. This is Earth. This is today's CME. That was yesterday's. See how much smaller that is? Now, I can't speak to the power of it, though. I'm talking specifically. Back at you, God's love. Speaking, specifically to the actual left to right size of how big the actual CME it is itself from one side to the other. See how small that kind of is? But Earth's taking a direct hit. Now we go to today's, same thing. We're taking a direct hit, but it's bigger. You see how much larger it is in size? It doesn't necessarily mean it'll be stronger, though. Now, oftentimes when you get these CMEs, we call them double taps when we get hit back to back like that. If this one is actually moving faster than the one in front of it, what'll happen is you'll get a buildup of dense plasma in between the two, and it'll cause a shock wave when it hits. So the first one will hit, and if the second one's moving faster, it's like a shovel. They actually call it that. They call it the plow effect. All right? Because it's moving, you got to think of it either like snow, or if you want to think of it like moving through water, like a boat moving through water. It's pushing that stuff out in front of it. There's something moving slower in front of it, like acting like a wall. So the one comes in behind it, and it just builds up and rolls, just like a wave would. Okay? So when that more denser section in between the two CMEs hits, a lot of times, guys, that's when we take the big ones. Because really, when you're talking about a double tap like I'm saying right here, it's almost like you get hit 3 times. You get hit with the first CME, then you'll get the dents in between the two, and then you get hit with the CME behind it. So all that in one spot, in a short amount of time, our magnetic field does not have enough time to get back to normal state. Because if we're just talking, say this is the second CME here, is the only one that we had to talk about, that right there may not even have caused the geomagnetic storm. Our magnetic field sometimes can fend these off and just, my view on magnetosphere due to the current magnetic pole excursion. Yeah, I do think that has something to do with it, Boomer. He's calling it an excursion because there is some discussion about a magnetic excursion versus a complete pole flip. Essentially, that event is almost the same. I'm not going to get into the differences there. And wherever you fall on that side on the arguments, but I do think that both of them, number one, Boomer, would have an effect on our magnetic field. Okay? It's weakening our magnetic field. That's my opinion. And I think that, the data is showing that. It's not hard to really see it anymore. At the beginning, when all that started, it was a little harder to see. But now it's becoming evident that everybody knows it's just there. The data shows that our magnetic field is weakening. The South Atlantic anomaly has split into 2 and is growing. That's another sign that our magnetic field is weakening. Our poles are moving. And, we talk about the 40 degree, latitude line. Once it gets there, it's going to flip, right? That could be the case. But remember that when the North Pole is moving down that direction, guess what? The South Pole is moving up. They're attracted to one another. When you got a magnet in your hand, you got 2 magnets, the positive will go towards the negative, and the negative will go towards the positive. So, really what happens is, and I'm not going to get into too much detail on that, they'll meet wherever they meet, which is typically close. It will be closer to the equator than what it won't, okay? And when that happens, that's when things just flip. Boop. Now, how fast it flips and gets back to normal, don't know. There's a lot of science on all that, and I'm not getting into that subject. That's a full video series. But yes, I do think, to answer your question, I know that was kind of a long answer, but I think it needed said that way. But yeah, so anyway, CME 1, CME 2. And I showed you the seeds imaging here, and this is why, guys. I mean, and things are going to continue, and that's really going to be the talk of everything right now. Things are going to continue. Now, I do want to show you this other model right here. This is the geoelectric field, not geomagnetic, and I talked about this yesterday, so please go back and watch that one if you're wondering what this is. But if you're looking at this, let's see here, you're not seeing a whole lot of action. Okay, and that's because there is really no geomagnetism messing with us right now. But when these CMEs hit, not only will it mess with our magnetics, it actually messes with our electric, right? I mean, that's really what we're talking about. They're kind of one and the same, but they're not. They're different on how they react and stuff. And I pointed this out yesterday, guys. USGS, their logo's here on the bottom. It's not hardly on any other logo here. It's on this one, though. Why? Because they're using this to help predict earthquakes. They're trying to figure out exactly how everything works together. And it's going to be a long time before they actually could come out with, like, concrete, hey, this is what it is and what it's not and all that. Now, I don't think anybody out there questions whether or not space weather has anything to do with earthquakes, because in my opinion, it 100% does. So that's just what I'll say. I do think, because I've seen it happen, it definitely affects our weather. We've seen flares hit right over top of hurricanes. That happened twice in 1 year. And when the flare hit where the hurricane was, both of them strengthened within 12 hours. It was almost instantaneous. It's amazing how that happened. Hey, Tab, good to see you. But yeah, so yeah. So what don't most people believe there, Steven? I think I missed your other comment. I'm sorry, man. Let me know what most people don't believe, which you're probably right. Hey, IG, good to see you. Hey, ain't seen you in a minute. Kiki, what's up? BK, what's happening? But anyway, so yeah, you got that, and then this shows space weather's effect on our artificial electrical components, right? Yeah, Broken Fish, that's I'm telling you guys, that's that's happening a lot. Yeah, check your notification bells, guys. And let me say this. I'm not trying to take up for YouTube or anything here, but I will say this. I haven't been live streaming like I was, a year ago. And so sometimes that happens, and it's probably a lot of my fault. Broken Fish, and what other account are you? Just so I know you changed your name there. I can't remember. I apologize. I'm sorry. I don't remember your first name there. The first account, anyway. If you could, let me know, just so I know. I don't want to be talking to you thinking I'm talking to somebody else. But, anyway. Yeah, Hilly. Yeah, there you go. Yes, Hilly, definitely, he has a great Bible study on Saturdays. Please go check him out. Hilly, drop your link in there, man. Drop your link. Thanks, Lady Diane. Thank you. But yeah, there you go. Guys, check him out. Guys, that's what we got to do, right? We got to support each other. That's the only way you ever get anywhere here on this platform or on any social media platform. Really, especially when you're smaller at the beginning. You really just got to keep, lifting each other up. So, yeah. Good idea, Becca. Good one. Good one. Clear your cookies and resub if you're having problems getting the notifications. 100% that does help. Because believe it or not, guys, when you're on YouTube, they're watching what you're doing. So just know that. I think we all kind of know that. But yeah, Paleo, that's another huge subject I can't get into tonight. Man, they're really good subjects, guys. Go check, go look. Yeah, everybody, get over and sub up to Hilly. Man, he's been my friend before I even had a channel, guys. I met him over on Texas News Network, and I was watching alternative news there. Yes, go check out Marfugal, please. Back at you, Dubious. Yeah, I know, Dubious, for sure. For sure. Well, thanks, Trish. I appreciate you guys. And let me say this. I'm going to go ahead and say this because I need to. Yeah. Survival game. Hilly posted it up there underneath one of his comments there. Hilly, drop it again, man. Spam the crap out of that. Go check out Axe and Nacho too, please, guys. All these guys have channels. I mean, we got to go support. That's what we do, right? You know, yes, Marfugel does 100%. Do you think? That's actually a possibility, John. Talking about the two CMEs, one catching up with the other. Yes. G62 data. Yes. It will. It'll challenge our magnetic field. And the reason why is you got to think of it kind of like the Schumann Resonance. It'll start vibrating our magnetic field. And when it'll compress and it'll rapid expand. Okay, I've talked about that before. When we get hit, our magnetic field will compress around us. And then we'll have rapid expansion. Because it's trying to get back to its normal position. And because it has to push hard, it pushes out past where it was to begin with. It's kind of like when I was a kid, I would fight with my uncles, and he would stick his hand out, right, on my forehead, and I couldn't get to him, and he'd just step to the side, and like an idiot, I'd fall to the ground. It's kind of the same thing, okay? But yeah, and Rip, yes, check out Rip, yep. You guys are awesome, I mean, honestly. But yeah, what I was going to say, if it wasn't for, Marfugel and a few others, I would have shut my channel down a long time ago, guys. It's challenging sometimes, okay? It really, truly is. It takes a lot of time to do these things, and it takes a lot of dedication. And, thankfully, my channel here is it's set up in a way that when something happens, if I need to be on here for 5 minutes, I can pop on for 5 minutes and be done. And obviously this one's going a little bit longer than what I expected because you guys had a lot of great questions. Just saying. You always do. It's just been a while since I've been able to address you guys like this, and I know that I'm on at like 7 o'clock, 7:40, something like that. Me and my family, we went out to, there's a place called Round One. It's a video game place and stuff. And, yeah. It's, thanks, guys. I appreciate all you guys. I really do. But anyway, with my sister and her family and my wonderful wife and my kids, we were all there except for my oldest. My oldest has been working like 70 hours a week, and it's just taking a toll on him. But yeah, we were all there, and it was fun. We had a lot of fun. It's one of those arcade places that has like the Japanese style like crane games. If you guys have never played those things, go check them out. It's not like the old crane game at the bowling alley, okay? These things they actually have like different games with the same crane. It's you have to like move a stuffed animal to one side or the other. It's not just trying to pick it up and drop it. But yeah. Oh, I had a great time, Steven. I really did. We all did. Dang Green. Wow. That's a wow. Hey Ripper. What's up? Yeah, it was fun. Survival. It really was. It was really, really fun. But yeah. Oh yeah, man. It was awesome, Rip. It really was. Oh yeah, that's cool, John. That's awesome, man. Really is. Yeah, I would say that too, Boomer. Well said. Be careful what you wish for. You wish the grid goes down. Man, that's a hard one to like, yeah. And let me say this one more time, guys. Go subscribe to Survival Games. Okay? Survival Game. Hey, Rip, or somebody else, please drop her link in there. Here, I'll tell you what. Here you go, Survival. We'll just do it this way. You got a wrench, so go. You can drop your own link in there anytime you want. Okay, just do that. It's For people that have channels, I will typically do that for anyway. She would deserve a wrench anyway. I mean, but good one, BK. Good one, man. But yeah, so please put your link in there, Survival Game. And guys, let's show them a little bit of a Wages love bomb. Go over there. I mean, go over there and just crack the heck out of that subscribe button. Hit that notification and check out some of her videos. They're awesome. They're fun. They are fun to watch, I'm telling you. It's fun to watch Rip kind of squirm a little bit. Rip's in here, I can say that. And Adam was over there from Marfugal. He did actually, I think there was 2 clips there. But yeah, they're fun, guys. I mean, honestly. And you're learning something at the same time. I forget, I seen you with the bow and arrow. That was kind of cool, I thought, anyway. So yeah. And yeah, she does things a lot more precise than what I do, in the aspect that I don't know. My videos end up being longer than probably what they should be, is what I'm trying to say. And, I don't use a script, and she does. I don't think she does either, but she's asking, the prepping community, people that have channels, asking them pretty decently hard questions. And it's awesome to watch them squirm a little bit trying to answer them. I think it's fun. But you learn that way too, guys. And that's why that stuff's important. You can learn while you're having fun. And believe me, you will learn more if you're having fun while you're learning. And that's what's so great about channels like hers, because people learn. There's a lot of stuff there, Boomer, honestly. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff there. So, I can't talk about that today. It's just such a big subject. But yeah, I mean, all that could be possible. All right, guys, I am going to go ahead and cut it here. I tell you what, we will leave it. I'll play this. Well, no, let's go here. Let's do this. I'll play this movie here. I tell you what, the 171 here too was showing some pretty good action there on the bottom right. Right over here, you'll see that eruption that I was showing you guys earlier. If you just kind of look right here, it'll happen here in just a second. But yeah, hey John, good to see you. Oh, check out Matthew Shipley's channel. Check out Ron, Emergency Management Associates. Check out Mark Pires, Renaissance Man. Please. Hey, Anna. What'd you say there? Need a shield? Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Tanaya. Lynn. That's awesome. I mean, that's what we got to do, guys. And let me tell you guys this. You guys see that eruption, by the way? Here, I'll just grab it. Watch right here. I will never, ever. Yes, Renaissance Man. Mark Pires, Renaissance Man. One of my mods could drop that in the chat too. That'd be cool. Hey, George, what's up? Yeah. In case you guys didn't know, my hey MJ, good to see you. My name was Blue Kool-Aid when I first started my channel, and then when they started all the Kappa walls, I changed it because I didn't want to have any issues with a cartoon character being my my logo and my name and stuff, because nobody really knew what was going to be happening with that. But yeah, was that good? Was that good, Rip? Was that movie any good? I want to know. Oh, I don't know, Richard. Did he? Or George? Rashad? Sorry. Yeah, I don't know if he did. I hope not. Thanks, Rip. That's Mark Pires' channel in there, guys. Go check him out. He did a really cool video, guys. He's got a Bible from 1775 that he got from a house that he's a real estate agent, and they let him have what was ever in the house. And he found that. And I'm telling you guys, hey Daniel, what's up, bud? Good to see you, man. But yeah, I'm telling you, listen, that Bible was cool. It really was. I mean, he put gloves on and everything and had a camera down there and was like flipping through it. And it really was. Hey, yeah, Paleo, you remember those days? Hey, IG, does Ron have a strike on his channel? Just asking. I know you're a mod over there too. Somebody mentioned that. Hey, Mary. I think it's a King James drops. Pretty sure. That's what it was. He did? Man, daggone, that sucks. I hate that, man. I do. I mean, if it's blatant, it's one thing, but I guarantee you Ron didn't do nothing blatant on purpose to get a strike. That's, man, wow. Anyway, any channel I ever send you guys to, I go to myself, all right? And I will never, ever recommend somebody that I think is negative, okay? Even if I like what they're putting out, like as far as the data and stuff, I'm not going to push you guys to people that are just going to be in a negative, get you in a negative frame of mind. It's just not healthy. I don't, believe in that. Okay. If you guys want to know some of those channels I'm talking about, go look at my subscription list. You'll see the ones that I talk about and the ones that I don't, but I'm still sub to. That's why. Okay? I don't unsubscribe because you can still get good info there. It's just you got to be in the right frame of mind. You got to go at it with that kind of a mindset and just go there and look at the data only. Don't listen to all the negativity. Okay? Any negative stuff, man, I ain't got no room in my life for that crap anymore. I just don't. And I hope you guys really are the same way. So. But anyway, guys, I am going to go ahead and cut this. I need to go in here with my wife and sit with her for a while. But when that happened, I want to come on and give you guys a really, really quick update. Prayers, Rip. Prayers, brother. Guys, come on, guys. We got to pray for Rip and his family and, me also. I could use some prayers. So please, just pray for everybody. Send love, great thoughts, whatever your thing is. We don't judge, but we also don't run away from what we believe. Okay? So I hope that you guys can go over and check them out. Go check them out. Oh, man. Excuse me, guys. Hey, 7th. Okay. Thanks, man. Believe it or not, I was watching a trailer for that 7th, and it ended up putting it in my mind, so I went and watched Endgame again. I like that kind of stuff, but it is what it is. So anybody, S&P, Steve, Paleo, who else is here? Mary, Roxy, Daniel, good to see you, man. MJ, I'm glad you made it in here, man. SR Will, yes, bad thing. We don't do negativity, guys. Julie, what's up? All right, guys, love you, brother. Love you, Rip. All right, guys. See you guys later. If anything else happens, I promise I'll give you guys an update. But if not, within the next couple days, I'll at least try to come on here for 10 or 15 minutes. And okay, yeah, thank you, IG. Ron's backup channel, guys. Check him out, okay? It kind of is. It's a Thor survival game. It's a Thor movie, and it's a good one, by the way. All right, guys. Let's see who is here. Hey, Roxy. Yep. Okay. I am going to go ahead and hey, Hilly. It might be. It's from the Civil War, Hilly. You guys should go check out this video on that. So, anyway, guys, God bless. Yahusha saves, and you guys know what's next. What is it? Come on. You could drink this Kool-Aid.